Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Aquarius in mid-July 2019. What's going on, Aquarius? How you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Alright, Aquarius. Oh, boy. Summertime. Half of the year is behind us. Let's get on with this, huh? What do I mean by this? Life, the reading, everything? I don't know. But I just feel... Today I'm feeling a little antsy. I did some readings yesterday and I wasn't super antsy. I was actually kind of tired, but today I'm feeling like really like, ooh, let's get things going. So I don't know if that's for you. I don't know if that's just me being me, but we'll figure it out, shall we? All right, shuffle it off camera. That is your main spread there. I'm going to shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying on the table face up, that's when the reading begins. You can look in the description box below for the timestamp if you want to jump ahead. Also down there is the information you need if you want to book a personal reading with me. Follow the simple steps. Tell me what kind of reading you want. I say okay. You pay me. I upload the video. It's a very simple deal. But if you do have any questions before placing an order, feel free to contact me at the same email address that's provided below and I will answer your question. No problemo. All right? All right, Aquarius, let's get into this. I want to see Aquarius's outcome for mid-June 2019. Mid-June, I'm sorry, mid-July. Mid-July, please. Mid-July outcome for Aquarius. Mid-July outcome for Aquarius. Please show me. I was shuffling a long time for your spread, so we might end up picking some today. Is it a pick? Let me know if it's a pick, please. Outcome for Aquarius, mid-July 2019. Pick. Thank you. Thank you. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. That was kind of like, I don't know. I felt confident picking that, but they were like kind of quiet about it. Like, pick. I'm like, okay. Are we playing a game of telephone here? You gotta whisper these things? All right, guys, let's go ahead and flip the card that came face down. Okay. And let's see what's going on with you. Please show me where Aquarius is in mid-July. Please show me Aquarius in mid-July. Please show me. Okay. Cool. We got it. All right, Aquarius, coming into your reading today, you come in with the Six of Michael, aka the Six of Swords. Six of Swords, excuse me. All right, it's the light at the end of the tunnel. Breathe a sigh of relief and make new plans, relocation, or travel. All right, so Six of Swords, Six of Michaels, as the card states. Often this card is associated with travel. So, you know, summer months up here in the northern hemisphere. So many people might have vacation time that they're taking, going abroad, visiting family, doing all those kinds of things. So hopefully you're traveling and you're traveling safely. But the other aspect of the Six of Swords traditionally is sort of what it says in the beginning, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's something, a situation that you're able to see yourself out of, a predicament that you're able to see yourself out of, or there's just a tumultuous energy that you're able to get away from. Or you want to. If you're not able to, if it's not happening now, it's like in your desire. I've asked where you are, and it does feel like a really active card. It does feel like there's some motion behind this. So I do feel you're leaving something. Okay, thank you. And they're like, look at the card. Okay, so some of you, okay, given like weather, like maybe some of you are leaving a place that's been hit with like a terrible storm, or you know, maybe you've, you know, have been through a hurricane or a tornado or some other, you know, force of nature that has, you know, wreaked havoc across your life, or has canceled your travel plans or sped them up. You wanted to stay longer on vacation, but there's some inclement weather coming and it's like, we got to leave now. So there is this propulsion behind your movement, or propulsion behind the end of something. You walking away, you flying out, you getting in the car and driving away. There really is like this motion for you, Aquarius, that says, get out, basically. And, the tone of it is going to be different for everybody. I feel some of you, it's not because you're in a terrible situation or dire straits, or it's not because you faced a horrible situation on the home front, your house was damaged, your property was damaged. It's not like that for all of you. Some of you, that is true. Others of you, this is a social dynamic that has been really tiresome. It has been really draining to you. It has been really, like I said, tumultuous or volatile and full of aggravation. And it's just like, oh, I got to get out of this. In other cases, or a more broader umbrella perspective, it really is just about moving away from, because Michael, aka Swords, deals with thoughts, deals with your mental capacity, right? Air sign energy, or air quality energy, air element energy. Thank you. So relative to you, Aquarius, you're an air sign, so you're on your own home turf here, and it's like really wanting things to become quiet again. If you've had disturbances in your home, at your place of work, with friends, whatever, it's just like, I just want things to be chill, or I've said my piece, now I'm ready to leave, or this is not going to get anywhere, this is going around in circles, we're not going to come to any unanimous decision here, we're not going to come to any understanding, so let me just take everything that I came in here with and let me get out, So, general reading, so it's going to apply in different ways, but the aspect of moving on into calmer waters, into a quieter place, into a more copacetic social situation, or just being around people who are, better for your health, basically, or better for whatever in your estimation you feel is better for you. That's what you're aiming to do, Aquarius. You don't want any drama, you don't want any flack, you don't want any bullshit around you. If people are talking crazy, or people are reacting to you in crazy ways, it's just like, nah, man, I'm not here for that. I'm leaving. And I think some of you are in a very touchy energy where it could be like that, like instantaneous. Like some of you might be walking out of a job or out of a meeting, like just like walking out of the house, like, getting ready to sit down at the dinner table. Somebody says something whack. I never say whack, so that was for somebody. But somebody says some whack shit to you and you're just like, nah, okay, and you leave. Now, to cool off, to clear your head, sure, but some of you, it's like a leave, like, no, I don't need this shit, so maybe you're a dinner guest at somebody's home and it's just like not a good situation for you, so you leave. Maybe you're making a scene, maybe it creates drama later down the line, or maybe it puts someone else in an awkward position. But for you, Aquarius, you're in a very, for lack of a better word, you're in a very selfish energy right now, which is to say, I gotta look out for number one, because wherever you're coming from previously, I mean, as you can see on the card, where Michael is at the top left of the card, it's dark and stormy over there. It's very like unwelcoming, excuse me. And he's going towards clearer skies over here towards the right. So you just are not in the mood to continue to be in an aggravating situation, in a situation that doesn't serve you, that doesn't enrich you, that doesn't enlighten you, that doesn't appreciate you. You don't want to be around people who are not on your level, whatever that means to you. Some of you, that could, if you're a cross watcher for an Aquarius, you might think, oh, Aquarius thinks they're so cool, and you might think they're like from an egotistical place. So that's kind of where I don't want it to be like Aquarius is like walking on water. It's not. We're all human beings. We all have faults. So there's the caveat for that. But there's this energy of Aquarius is on this level, or on this side of things or in this particular bracket. And from Aquarius's perspective, it's a chill bracket. Everything is cool, everything is calm, everything is copacetic. There's no drama, there's no whack shit going on over here. Anybody who's bringing whack shit towards Aquarius, Aquarius is like, no thanks. Shuts it down or walks off. And that's it. Now, is that to say, again, here's the caveat, because I think, again, this selfish energy, for lack of a better word, is sometimes worthy. But there are a few of you who either you are acting purely in ego, or you're being perceived as being in your ego, egotistical, a megalomaniac, whatever. A narcissist, maybe. And I cannot tell at this point if that is true, and I'm not supposed to. It's a general reading. I'm not your therapist. I'm not your pastor. I'm not your mother. So I'm really just this general reading person. If this was a one-on-one, I would tell you, because I would have a clearer line. But since there's going to be multiple people watching this, there's a few of you in this little bunch of apples that's a little bit rotten. I gotta be honest. Gotta be honest. And I don't rightly remember, but I feel I may have had a similar message for you back in June. But I could be wrong. So this could be residual from the previous reading, but I could be wrong about that. In any case, Aquarius feels correct in whatever Aquarius is choosing to do. If I'm leaving the dinner table in the middle of the meal and I walk out and I just go and disappear for the rest of the night, that's my right to do that. This would be Aquarius speaking. If I'm leaving a job where I feel I'm not paid well, or I'm not valued, or I'm just hearing, some workplaces are really, high drama and aggravating. Every time I go to work, I have to hear about somebody's personal drama, and then I have to hear gossip, and then I'm, being berated by my boss. I just don't need this grief. I don't need this headache, and you leave. And the act of leaving, the act of being out of the situation is the goal for Aquarius. I don't want to deal with that anymore. Let's put that to bed. Fixed sign energy plus air sign energy. My God, Aquarius, you mean it. You mean it. So if someone is here watching for Aquarius thinking, oh, maybe I could, come to a compromise with Aquarius. Aquarius is very much not in the mood to compromise, especially if you're bringing whack shit around them. I don't know who is using whack. I don't use that word, but it's here now in my vernacular, so I'm going to use it throughout the reading probably. So whatever Aquarius deems as whack, if you're on that, no, and you will be denied. If you come with something that isn't whack, not to placate, don't try to placate Aquarius, by the way. If you're whack, they'll see right through it, okay? Or they'll eventually find you out. If they believe your lie for a day or two, give it a couple weeks, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, you came in here on some bullshit. You're truly whack, or whatever you're doing. Get out of here." So if you do want to make amends with Aquarius, or you do want to compromise with Aquarius, or Aquarius, if it's a general reading, so it can be flipped. So if Aquarius, you need to approach someone, don't come on some bullshit. Interesting. Now, okay. And okay. It's meant. We mean this. Yes. So you leave the situation. And if you're not able to act on it, again, with that air sign or that air element there, the thought, it's just in your mind. So some of you, you're not crazy, okay? I'm not going to just quit my job. I have bills. I have responsibilities. I've got, I got 5 kids to feed. Total Recall. It's a great movie. Anyway, it's a great bad movie. And I don't mean that it's a great movie. It's a great bad movie. Anyway, so some of you know you just can't quit this job. But you sit in your cubicle, or you sit in your office, or, over lunch, you're just like sighing, dreaming of coming into the office and being like, this is it. I'm done. And just walking out. So if you're not actually leaving the situation, it's constantly in your mind thinking of, how can I get out of here? How can I change my circumstances? How can I get to a more calmer place? A place where I just don't have to deal with other people's drama. Whack shit. So anyway. So, oh, yes, very good. So next to you, Eight of Gabriel, aka Eight of Wands. A great deal of activity, sudden and immediate results, important communication. All right, so maybe some of you are finally going to put all that daydreaming and wishing and imagining into action, okay? Because the Eight of Wands, again, 6, mental, in your head, thinking about it. Wands, aka Gabriel, is an active suit. Active. How do I make this thing that I'm desiring in my heart, in my mind, come into reality? So, a great deal of activity, sudden and immediate results, important communication. Important communication. All right, so I'm not going to, walk in here on a Thursday and quit my job, but I will give 2 weeks notice. So some of you draft up a little letter or a little email or whatever. You give it to your boss, you give it to your manager, you give it to whoever, and like, I'm out of here. End of July, I'm out. So some of you are going to put in the practical action or the manifested action of actually quitting your job, quote unquote, responsibly. And I put quotes around it because some people think in this day and age, you don't need to tell people that you're leaving. Like, I just saw a video about ghosting at work. People ghost their jobs. And I'm like, what? And I think it's under the context that, like, in that video, they were basically saying that the ghosting at work, it would be termed ghosting because to everyone involved, to your coworkers, to your boss, to whoever, it looks like you were fine. It looked like you were enjoying yourself, or, you were happy to be a part of the team or the company or whatever it is. And then to just stop showing up, it's sudden, versus being disgruntled the whole time, having, corrective action put on you, or being on suspensions and write-ups and all this kind of stuff. That's more of a predictor of someone just quitting or getting fired. So that was kind of what it was. And why am I saying this? Maybe some of you are doing that, some type of ghosting. Do you? I don't necessarily think that's great, but do you? Because I'm not here to tell you there are gnats in this room again. There are gnats in this room again, and I can't stand it. Has nothing to do with you. Anyway, so if you're not preparing the 2 weeks, maybe some of you are going to ghost your job or ghost a relationship. This could be a ghost in a relationship, and I don't know where this is coming from. Oh, that's why. Sudden and immediate results. I'm like, where's this ghosting element coming from? Sudden and immediate results. So some of you are just putting a deuce on somebody without notice. Again, I'm not here to judge you. I personally don't like it, but if that's your choice, that's your choice. Regardless of what you're doing, how you're doing it, you feel fine doing it. Aquarius, you have all the resolve in the world. You feel contented. You might not be over the moon about it. You might not be, jumping for joy, doing cartwheels, because Aquarius, you're not a daydreamer in a, you're not not a better, but a slightly insulting way to phrase it. You're not a scatterbrained person, Aquarius. Most of you are not. You have some method to your madness. Yeah. So if you do leave with notice, without notice, ghosting, sudden burst of drama or a display, like I said, about some of you walking out of a dinner or an event of some type and leaving someone in the lurch or shocking the other guests, aside from all that, there is a method behind what you do. Because the idea I'm feeling, or what I'm feeling, is to go any further down the path, to continue along with the decorum or what was expected or what was going on, dinner party, job, relationship, whatever it is, to continue to do it anymore. Aquarius, really, I feel you're trying to diffuse a situation, to avoid a conflict, to avoid, your own degradation, or to avoid hurting your own mental and emotional self anymore, I need to remove myself. I'm trying to get on this particular path in life of wellness, of conscious healing, of self-help, or, you know, make more money. Yeah, I've been working at this job for 2 years. I haven't gotten a raise since I was hired or something like that, or whatever it is. And you're just like, I need to go in order to see myself where I want to be. Yeah? Now, the other element with this, the communication. as is part of one of your archetypes, Aquarius, you might not be understood. Your motivation is probably not understood by most people, or people that are close to you, or people that are close to the situation. You know, people are not sure why you're behaving that way, or why you walked out, or why you're, you know, giving 2 weeks notice when it looked like you were completely happy here and you were, you know, doing so well at your job and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, there is a miscommunication. This net, get away from me. Anyway, there's a miscommunication here, or misunderstanding of the way you go about something. Again, I don't know that it matters to you. I don't know that you want to or need to take the time to explain yourself, because from your perspective, Aquarius, it must be done. I've waited long enough. I've endured this long enough. I've been patient enough. I've been, you know, pleasant enough, or I've been cordial enough, whatever. And you, before you run out of rope, say, you know what? I'm just going to hop onto this ledge over here instead of dangling out on the end of my rope. I'm just going to hop on this ledge and walk off. Or hop over here onto this hillside and walk off. I'm not going to risk dropping down into the ravine below and crashing my body onto the rocks, instead of, you know, putting myself in this precarious, dangerous, non-beneficial or unbeneficial situation, dramatic situation, stressful situation, hurtful situation, whatever. It's the gamut. It's a lot of you are going through, obviously you're different people. You're all going through something different. So instead of continuing to risk hurting myself in some form or fashion, I'm just going to get out. But to someone else, to other people, it's misunderstood. Miscommunication. Again, especially if you walk off and you don't come back and explain yourself, or you can't be contacted afterwards. If you make a move and it's in the vicinity of some type of ghosting, other people people that you've left behind, or people that are still around you, but you refuse to talk to them about the situation, they're just like, I don't understand, Aquarius. What was that about? And you don't say anything, or whatever you do say doesn't make sense to them. So there's a question mark on other people, over their heads. But for you, Aquarius, you're cool, you're fine, everything's kicking in your life. Oh, wow, okay. And I said that, didn't I? Did I? I think I did. Something, anyway. So, beneath that 8 of Gabriel, you have the Moon card. Archangel Haniel? Haniel? I don't know how to pronounce these angel names half of the time. Anyway, the opportunity to improve your plans, listen to your intuition for accurate guidance, face your fears, and grow stronger. So this is, I think, your new motivation, especially with that language there about facing your fears and growing stronger and letting your intuition guide you. This is like a new thing that you're doing. And I did say that. I think I said something about being over the moon, which is maybe just a small synchronicity, or something that's kind of, you know, like a little like nudge for you guys from your guides, or from your your angels. There's two things here. This applies to the people who don't understand you at the moment, which again is feeding into your archetype. One of your archetypes, Aquarius, is to be accepted as you are, which is hard because Aquarius is complex. Aquarius represents high intellect, high artistry, okay? I wouldn't say high imagination, but expansive thought that allows for imagining other things, but not necessarily, you know, I don't know if I can, if that really makes much sense, but it's a high level to Aquarius. Not to say you guys are like in Mensa or something like that. This gnat is just driving me up a wall. Anyway, it's not to say that you guys are like, you know, high IQ, you know, the high, it doesn't, it's the character of your zodiac, yeah? And that is a lot, to be so expansive, to be so intellectual, or wanting to be able to smarten up things that are not inherently smart. That doesn't make a lot of sense. How can I say this? Like Aquarius, you can often find a theory behind things, or motivations, or you would often try to put an understanding to something that other people are like, there's nothing to understand there. Or you would like to introduce a counterpoint or the gray area to something. You're often able to point out the exceptions to the rules, and other people are like, but these are the rules. And you're like, well, there's an exception here, or, well, did you consider this? And you constantly introduce that because your view is so much wider. Sure, in 95% of the times, this is how we do things, but 5% of the time, we do it this way, or this is the conclusion that we can come to, or these are the things that we need to consider. And that is your humanitarian side coming through, but how it funnels into reality, yeah? And that can drive people up a wall because you are able to see things from different perspectives, that higher perspective, that high intellect, or I shouldn't keep saying intellect because it's not about being book smart. I hope you get what I'm saying. I can't find the word currently, but that confuses people. You know, you could have had the opposite problem at your job, just for illustration purposes, or illustrative purposes, excuse me. You could have been making buku bucks, tons of cash at your job, whatever industry you're in. Let's say pharma. Let's say you're in pharma. Pharma is huge across the globe, huge. Or tech, huge. Or cyber, yeah, like cyber, not security, because I feel like that might be an outdated term, but whatever. You're just in one of these industries that just has a lot of money in it. And you work in a company where you made a lot of money. You've got all these perks and stuff like that. And you were really doing well at that job. You leaving to all these people who are there for the clout, there for the money, there for the notoriety, there for, you know, building up their resume and polishing things up. And then you maybe tell your friend after you quit, they hit you up, hey man, Aquarius, did you ghost work? Or did you quit? Or I hear you're quitting. And you're like, yeah, I've decided to, you know, give up that, and I'm going to go build a tiny house in the plains of Montana, and I'm going to live there for the next 5 years of my life and see what comes of it. And they look at you like, you know, you've lost it. Now, to you, Aquarius, there's a whole meaning behind why you're doing this. It's fulfilling something. You've been intuitively guided to make such a rash change in your life, to put forth such an effort to change your lifestyle, going from living in the city, high stakes job, high paying job, going to conferences, wining and dining clients, doing all this stuff that fulfills these material needs that we value so much, right? Gaining that success, gaining that notoriety, working your way up that corporate ladder, and you're like, I'm just gonna go live on the land for a while. If you're a guy, I'm gonna grow my beard down to my knees, you know, I'm gonna do that whole man bun, sloppy man bun look, okay? And people are like, what are you talking about? You have it made here. And you're like, you don't understand. And that's it. And that's how you walk away from the situation. Just telling them, you don't understand. That's one of the one of the yearbook quotes from Aquarius. You don't understand. You don't understand. You know? So you're following your heart. You're following your intuition. You're following your hunches. You're just driven. Like I said, there's a lot of propulsion. Propelled energy, and now we have the reason why. Because something inside of you, Aquarius, is saying, do it this way. Don't do it that way anymore. Do it this way. Now, that's like... that's like such a gentle thing. And maybe that's why you're not like so hype about it, because intuitively you're pretty calm. And like I said, you might just leave a situation and you're not even storming out. You calmly leave the dinner table. People think you went to the restroom or went to the bathroom or, you know, went to get something out of your handbag. Nope. She grabbed her coat, she grabbed her handbag, she left. And people are like, she's not coming back. She's not coming back. And they're stumped, but you're feeling free. You know? So that's interesting. Also, major arcana for the moon, the card of Pisces. So some of you might be dealing with a Pisces, but general reading, you don't have to be. Finishing out in the main spread, and kind of, again, another explanation of what's going on here, the wheel. Archangel Jeremiah, I don't know why I even try to say these names. Sorry, guys, I'm terrible with angel names. I don't know. Anyway, the wheel. New beginnings. End of delays. A change in direction that offers happiness. I mean, I just said that, all of that, but I applied it to the moon. So what else can we say about it? The wheel. Secondary major arcana 4. Ruled by Jupiter, so Sagittarius. Some of you might be dealing with the Sagittarius. Additionally, the wheel often talks about the fixed signs, so Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So this is, and it's under your starting position, so this is the foundation. This is what you're like stepping off into, the wheel. Something in terms of the churning of your life, not the ratcheting up, but just the cycles of your life, yeah, has led you to this point. You know, a lot of you might be thinking that. A lot of you might have ideas about what is destined in life, what is fate in life. Or some of you are like really interested in like this idea of phases in life. Or, you know, maybe some of you are looking back over your life. You know, what was I like when I was 16? What was I like when I was 21? What was I like when I was 38? And now you're like, you know, you're 62 and you're like, I think I'm going to do something else. You know, Aquarius is definitely open, that air sign quality, as opposed to the other fixed signs. You're more open sometimes, not all the time, to not the variety of life, because it's not about spice of life, you know, go to a different place and, you know, break bread with the locals for like 2 nights and then, you know, jet off to another country or jet off to another area. It's not like that. When you go and you experience other facets of life or other cultures in life or life experiences, you get into the trenches of it. That's the fixed. So you move the air swiftly, quickly, you're adaptable, but then you anchor down for a while. I feel that's what's going on for a lot of you. You're changing over into a new version of yourself, or you're changing over into this new level or this new realm of experience for yourself. And you'll spend some time there. Like I said, some of you, I'm going to go build a tiny house out in the plains. Never done that before. I've lived in the city practically my entire life. You know, I'm 42 years old, never picked up a buzzsaw before. Don't know anything about carpentry, but I've got the expendable cash. I've got the resources. I'm going to build a tiny house, drive it out into the country, and I'm going to live in that bitch. And people are like, you're insane. You're like, no, man, you're insane. You're insane that you want to continue to live in this type of society. You're insane that you want to continue to kill yourself working, 60-hour weeks just so you can bring home 6 figures. And what does that 6 figures get you? You're on your tablet, your wife is on her cell phone, your kids are on playing Fortnite, 5 hours after school every day. Everybody in the house has anxiety and stress. Screw it. And that's an interesting example I'm giving you. A married person saying, I'm going by myself to live in a tiny house. That would really, really throw your family off. But we're married, we have kids, what are you doing? And you're like, sorry, babe, I gotta do this. Now, I'm not saying that's literally what someone's doing, but it's like that drastic. It's like, it's so different than what you've ever done before. You feel fine, you're confident, you feel prepared, or capable, at least, if not prepared, capable, but everybody around you is looking at you like you're fucking crazy. I am not judging, I do not even know. But contextually, with everything, this is a lovely progression, going from the 6 of Michael, being in your head about change, being in your mind and contemplating how I can make change happen. You communicate the change, you take action on the change, you understand the motivation of why you've done it. Intuitively, you've been guided to do it. And then you're allowed to essentially ascend or graduate into this new phase of your life, which is what you wanted to begin with. Because again, the 6 of Michael is behind you. Foundationally, you wanted this upgrade. You wanted to be in this different lane of life. You wanted to live a different experience. Here it comes. So, as a person, as just a person, not a reader, I would think that's really weird. A lot of this sudden change. But as your reader, I get it. I can see it. I can see it. Your outcome for mid-June. Mid-June again. So that's twice I've said mid-June. So something here maybe has been stirring for you since June. 6 of Michael's, the 6 of Michael, the 6th month. June is the 6th month. Maybe 6 weeks ago. Still in June. Okay. So this has maybe been and I think I said, for me on my channel, I think your reading was similar to this. You're doing stuff that nobody else understands. This has been going on since June or for 6 months. 6 weeks, not 6 days. That's very drastic. But regardless, you feel fine, then I'm happy for you. Outcome for mid-July, not June, mid-July, is the King of Michael, aka the King of Swords. Principled, rational, ambitious, respected. Wisdom and objectivity are important now. Stay in your integrity, a situation that calls for honest and open communication. So as an outcome, I feel this is what you're stepping into. You're stepping into your own power. Again, air sign energy, swords, that's your home turf. Aquarius, you're not going to be mincing your words with people. So be careful of that. You might have a chance to really hurt someone's feelings or kind of, inflame somebody's sensibilities because you're just going to be like straight up with it. I'm doing this. Here is why. You don't understand it. I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you. I've said it once. I'm going to say it twice to be cordial. But after that, if you don't get it, you're freaking dumb and you just don't understand me anyway. And then you're off. So there's a potential to be very, very cutting, very biting with your words and your communication. I would give you a warning about that only because I believe there's a chance for you to hurt someone's feelings who you actually deeply care about. I'm getting that for not a few of you, but 20% of you could run that risk. If you're running into coworkers at the grocery store and you quit 2 weeks ago and they're like, oh, hey Aquarius, I haven't seen you in the office. What happened? Well, Barbara, if you were paying fucking attention, you would see that I quit. And Barbara, and it's like, you don't care about Barbara. She was a gossip. She didn't do her work. So you can say that to Barbara. I'm not advising you to. But for people that I'm not advising you, anybody you don't care about, talk to them however you want. No. But that would be a time where your biting words don't have a long-lasting impact that you might regret later. Okay? For people that you care about, family, friends, whomever, people that you value, people that you respect, okay? Don't bite their heads off when they say they don't understand you, or they say that they disagree. That's okay. Here it is. Some of you are going to come up or be challenged because people are going to disagree, and your reaction is, who are you to disagree? Now, in the case of the person who has a family and kids, and it's like, I'm going to go live in a tiny house, I'm going to go build a tree house in the woods or whatever, or I quit my job and like you were the one bringing home the bacon, I think the person who disagrees, your spouse, your children, whomever, have a right to disagree with you. So don't bite their heads off. So, tread lightly in some of these cases. Regardless of anyone else's reaction, I like that you are getting clear. Like, again, that's coming out of a dark period, coming out of stormy skies into clearer skies, stormy waters into clearer waters. I feel that you're getting to a point, or you're working to exorcise like the exorcist, but not like that, but just like you're doing, thank you, a better word, cleanse. You're doing some type of cleansing of yourself. You have been clogged up, backed up, just bogged down with stuff that, like I said in the beginning, isn't serving you, is detrimental. It blocks your progress. You feel you're not putting anything into this world of substance. You want to create or live in a way that's substantial, not impactful or about fame and fortune, but impactful as in making things better, make my community better, make my city better, make my home life better. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I'm sure there's a reality show out there, probably on TLC or some shit like that, where, families give up technology. Here's a crazy experiment. We take this typical suburban family that has all the devices and all the social media compulsions and addictions, and now we remove it and we send them to live in a colonial home. I'm sure that's been done before. Some of you are thinking that. I'm the breadwinner here, or me and your father have decided that this family is going to downsize on the technology, or this family's, if it's not about technology, even though with the swords, that's pretty heavy. If it's not technology, it could be something about diet or lifestyle and health. This family is going totally vegan, and your wife is looking at you like, what? And you're like, absolutely. We're all unhealthy. Let's go vegan. And that is not an endorsement for veganism, and it's not a knock either. You all need to go see your own doctors and figure out what works for you. Some people can live off of a vegan diet. Some people would struggle, and actually it wouldn't be the best for them. Okay, so that's not an endorsement nor a knock. But this is just an example of making these drastic changes that people might not appreciate. Okay? Overall energy, 5 of Ariel. So what have we been talking about this whole time, friends? You needn't go through your current challenges alone. Help is nearby. Negative thoughts create self-fulfilling prophecies. So I think that's a little relative to where that 6 of Michael is coming from in the previous space, 6 months ago, 6 weeks ago, back in June, whatever it is. This is more speaking to that time period. Now, it could be more than 6 months. It could be 6 years. It could have been 6 decades. I don't know. Or 4. The number is almost arbitrary. But that previous time in your life, Aquarius, where you were just like, nothing is working, or I'm out here alone. I feel different for wanting something different. All of my friends, they love making sales. They love going on these lavish company retreats, company retreat to Hawaii, team building exercises and bonuses and all this material stuff. Or, my family loves, eating out and having fast food once a week, and my kids love milkshakes and blah, blah, blah. And this is just not a healthy way to live. And you've just been like feeling so alone in believing that some type of behavior or lifestyle or just certain choices that you've made by yourself, if you don't have a family and you don't have many friends, or it's not those relationships might not be impactful for you. You've been feeling like you've been out in the cold by yourself. And that's a sad place to come from for you, Aquarius. But something has come along, possibly from that intuitive space, that says, you know what? You could do it a different way. Some people might not like it, but you could do it a different way if you want to. And you're sort of put your money where your mouth is a little bit. This net. Ugh. Anyway, you've decided to bite the bullet here. And say, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna change my life. I'm gonna change my circumstances. I'm gonna change the way I show up to this, or I'm gonna change what, like I said, for those who are like in a really like terrible situation, or a situation where you're not valued and you're devalued and people are abusive towards you or degrading towards you, berating you, you're like, you know what? I'm worth more than all that bullshit that they're trying to heap onto me. I'm going to stand up for myself, or I'm just going to leave the situation and go find a better job. I'm going to find a better boyfriend. I'm going to find a better girlfriend, whatever we're talking about. I like this progress for you, Aquarius, but I'm like still getting this warning of there's someone around you who won't understand, and there might be a little bit of a hitch there. I don't really know how else to describe it other than a hitch, a hiccup, something you might regret. You might hurt someone's feelings as you walk out the door, and whether or not you're meant to repair that relationship or whether or not you're meant to give them context and explanation, I don't know. But there's something here about someone or a few someones are not going to be super pleased with what you're doing. And whether or not you care enough to work on that, that's up to you. Aquarius, that's your reading for mid-July. If you liked it, there will be a like button down. Well, there will be. There is. This whole time it's been there. There's a like button down below. Go ahead and hit it for me. You can leave a comment on the video letting me know what you liked about it, how it resonated in your life. You can share the video across your social media platforms, letting other people know that you like what I do around here. And of course, you can subscribe if you're not already subscribed. That would be amazing. That would be the best. All of those things would be great. But the subscriptions, I'm really after those. And that's simply because I just want to meet more people and be connected to more people. And that sounds kind of weird, but it's one of my goals, you know? So if you want to help me move towards those goals, cool. If not, cool as well. No pressure. No pressure. A sort of announcement. Well, it is an announcement because I've announced it for everybody else. I'm going to be going live in August, Aquarius. But the technical thing about that is I'm going live for Leo. I published Leo's birthday reading Monday this week, and I decided pretty much before I hit the record button that one of the things that I'm going to introduce now that I'm in my second year of doing birthday messages, is I'm also going to do a live. So I will, at the beginning of every Zodiac's birthday period, I'm going to upload a general reading for everybody to watch. And then eventually later in the month or the few weeks after, I'm going to go live and take readings with people of that specific Zodiac. So in August, I will be live, but it's for Leo. But you can come, but it's for Leo. You want to sit in the chat, you want to say hi to people, you want to watch me work, cool. But the readings will be for Leos. Okay? Just a general announcement. As for you, you can see me in about a week or two when I come back with your general reading for August. And then, of course, I'll do the mids for August after that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, Aquarius, I thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Take care, guys. Bye.